What's up? What's up? What's up? You already know what it is. It's that Sunday where we sit down, talk to all the amazing barbers that's out here changing the game, uplifting, sharing knowledge. You know what my platform is. A connection for a minute, but yeah, let's jump into it. I see my dude that's on already, and we about to jump into it and talk that barber shit. So I just want to thank everybody that's gonna tune in, check us out, listen to the conversation, check out our YouTube page, check out our content, check out his platform, his IG, his links, and same as mine. And this is what it's about. It's about connecting the field, connecting the industry, and showing what we do best. So let's go.
What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Can't complain.
I'll start off by saying thank you for taking time out of your day, your Sunday, and jumping on this platform so we could talk that barber shit. It's a pleasure. I've been following your content. I've been following your journey, your road. Everybody on that side of the field of your walk of life and the things that you guys got going on. So it's definitely an honor to have you sit down on my platform and talk that barber shit. So yeah, let's get to it.
Pleasure being here, man. It's a pleasure.
So first off, I love the name, the OCD Barber. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
It was a name that one of my clients' mom gave me, actually. When I first got into the barber industry, the one thing that was pounded into my head was always pay attention to details that others neglect. And it was doing barber school. I used to take about an hour on haircuts, man, and people used to be and joke at me. But at the end of the day, I got quicker, but I still kept paying attention to those details. And before I was the OCD barber, I had two barber names. Previously, it was when I first got into the barber industry. I think it was the 24 karat barber or something like that, or something deal with 24 karat. Because I had a whole bunch of gold utensils. And then I took a break from barber and a half, and I came back. And I'm a Marine Corps veteran, so I named myself the Marine Barber. And one day I was cutting her son's hair up, and she said, "You know what you should be called? You should be called the OCD Barber." And it just stuck, man. And that day I went on Instagram, and the OCD Barber actually wasn't available at the time. I don't know who had it before me, but about a week later, I went back to check again. So I took it, and I've been sticking with it, man. And honestly, it's been a great change in names, because the branding of that in itself is amazing. I get so many new clientels that click on, like, 'cause I'm with Booksy, so they click on my Booksy just from my name. They don't care about the work. They want to know who is this OCD barber? Like they must got bars or something like that. So yeah, that's how I got the name.
Right. So let me tell you a little bit more about what my sit down is all about. This podcast that I'm building, this formula that I want to share with the world is called Talk Your Barber Shit, and it's nothing about belittling anybody, bringing anybody down, bringing the industry down. It's all about just sharing your enlightenment, your vision, and what would you like to see more as far as growing and challenging, like the new barbers coming out of school, coming out of just the whole mindset of them thinking that barber is like your last resort. You know, some people still think that in some way, like barbering, it's like, you know, like, oh, I couldn't do this or I couldn't be in this. You know, I didn't graduate from college, so my last resort is to be a barber, which
Exactly.
you could be so much more within this industry and capitalize on a lot of things that could take you. Because I feel like being a barber, when you're you're the center of everything. You're the center of music. You're the center of like culture. You're the center of um, politics. You're the center of like everything.
Yeah.
There, you're almost like a therapist, and in so many ways. So
Mhm.
I just want to highlight the industry. I want to highlight the people that I'm seeing that are doing the work and pushing this industry so more further than where it first started. And I'm almost like my way of giving you guys your flowers, giving you a chance to, you know, showcase everything that you guys are doing, what you're planning on doing, if you want to share that at the moment. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I just like that this is a platform that, you know, tell you guys thank you for, you know, opening my eyes and giving me the opportunity to jump in this field and take it as far as I can. Because that's what it's all about. It's having that, showing that next person that, you know, where I'm at, you can go even further.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty much this is what it's about. But I definitely want to sit down with you and ask you, like, what made you become a barber? What started you out to say, hey, I want to pick up these clippers?
And I did 8 years in the Marine Corps. Before I joined the Marine Corps, I didn't, Marine Corps was my first job. I didn't have a first job. Like Marine Corps was my first job. When I got out, um, my plan had fell through. I was actually in the application process for Secret Service. When I was in DC, I worked at the Pentagon and the White House before I came to California. Some political things happened, and some hiring freezes started for the federal government. So I was already 6 months out from getting out, and I was already 9 months into the hiring process. So you do the math there, things won't add up. I started all over. So I
Mhm.
got out, and I just started asking people. I was like, man, you know, what do you see me doing? And they're like, well, you know, all they can say was, oh, I just know you being in the military. And I know that I didn't want to have a boss. I didn't want to work on no one else's schedule because, man, 8 years of that, I couldn't even go home without having permission. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't feel right. Like, you know, I'm stationed in California. I'm from South Carolina. And if I wanted to go see my family, I got to talk to my command. Hey, will you let me, sir, will you let me go home, please? No. And I was on Instagram one day, and it's a barber college right here called Moeller Barber College out in Oakland, California. And they had an ad on Instagram. And I clicked on the ad, and it said, now enrolling. And just from there, I went in that day, actually. I called in that day to the missions and asked for an appointment to come in. I think I went in 2 days later. And they took VA funding too. So the military was able to pay for my barber college. So I signed up that day and I went. And mind you now, I've never cut hair before this day. I had never pair of clippers. It was just something that I took a leap of faith, and I started barber college, and it's something that just stick. It seems like I had a gift for it. I sat down and I paid attention to my instructors. I paid attention to YouTube, and it started getting to me, and I just stuck with it, man. And yeah, that's how I got here today. That's why I chose barbering. Is literally I wanted to change and change the pace of life.
Okay, okay. Um, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that first step behind that chair and you know, you moving towards this new journey. Was it any moments of that if factor? Like, you know, am I
Of course, it was always a what if because the whole one of the whole things of me going to barber college and the military paying for it was me being under contract saying, hey, okay, we're going to pay for your schooling. I think at the time, barber college was 20, maybe 23, $24,000 they covered. And
yeah.
they say, we'll cover it, but you have to go to school. You
Hmm.
know, you be missing days. You can't not pass because at the end of the day, if that happens, I owe all that money back.
Right.
So it was always a what if, like, okay, they're paying for this, but what if I don't love it? What if I don't like it? What if I get 6 months into school and I'm just frustrated and I'm like, okay, I don't want to cut hair no more. I don't want to go to barber college anymore. So it was always that what if factor. And closer to my graduation, it was always the what if factor of, okay, now I've been in school for 9 months with constant clientele because that's what the school is giving me. How do I get my own clientele now? Like, what if I can't, what if I can't get my own clients? Like how do I do that?
Mm-hmm.
And I think every barber, it doesn't matter where you are in your barber career, it's always that what if factor. No one can say they don't think what if. It's
Yeah.
always,
So
especially,
no, continue. I'm sorry.
no, I was saying, especially after COVID, because that was a big what if.
Yeah,
Uh,
right. So talk about that more about like how you um now that I mean during that time was social media a big advertisement layout at that time when you was coming in, like, or did you still have to do a lot of foot trafficking, word of mouth, allowing your customers to share your information?
it
I know it's
was
kind of like based on social media or Booksy, a lot of content now, but how was it for you at that time?
in the beginning, it was a lot of social media. I wasn't big on social media. Like I didn't know the I'm still learning the algorithms and everything. But I would post on social media. That was one big thing. I would post every day, like 2, 3 times a day. Um, I would go get business cards. I pass out business cards. At the time, I had just found out about Illusion, so I was paying hundreds of dollars on these promo fly Illusion. But yeah, I was definitely out there doing the foot traffic. It wasn't handed to me, and I honestly didn't get on Booksy until I got into my first studio. Because when I first got to barber college, I worked in a salon for about 3 months.
Hmm.
I salon, then I got into a barbershop. Got into a barbershop. It was a nice barbershop. I was there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years,
Okay.
and then after I left there, I went and got my own suite. When I got my own suite, that's when I got to Booksy, because at that point I realized that I built up enough clientele to have residual income, but I don't want it to stop there, because again, that what if factor. What if something happens and my clients, I don't do something, my clients leave me, or I'm in the Bay Area, where a lot of people out here are not from here. They're only here because of work. So some of my clients I'll have for a year and a half, and they're leaving.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out a way, and then Booksy really helped me out. So I would say between social media, the word of mouth, and Booksy, those are what's kept me going all these years.
Okay. Like, because I know on your page, I just want to, track back to that. Did you bounce from Orange County to Vegas to the Bay, or do you just like your areas where you grew up?
No, so those are areas. So Southern California, the part of the brand I'm part of, Anti-Broke Barbers Club.
Correct.
We have a shop in Vegas and we have a barbershop in LA. So
Oh,
those up there, because if I was trying the shops that I would cut out of, one in LA, one in Vegas, and then out here.
okay. So you were
But I
very. So which location you like the most?
the most is my home location, because that's where the money's at. But I like traveling. I do like traveling, so I won't put it past Vegas and LA. But I do love the Bay, because the money is amazing out here. The clients are amazing. So, and I have clients from LA area that travel up here. So I can't be mad at.
Are you mad the Warriors relocated on you guys?
No, I'm not from here, so I'm not really a Warriors fan.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Say that again.
I'm not a Warriors fan, so yeah, that doesn't matter to me.
Oh, okay, okay. So, yeah, so we're gonna definitely talk about the things that you do with your other program and anti broke barbers. I want to get that right, say it correctly. We're gonna talk about that later, but we're gonna definitely focus more on you. But the moment, like, what is the change factor that you see now that you're happy with the progress of a lot of things that's moving in this direction now as far as the barber industry, or what would you like to see more of?
I would like to see more regular barbers step up and, you know, or step up and try to do something, because what I see in the industry now is everyone's focused on the big name barbers. And I know barbers to my left and to my right, they're amazing. And, they don't do this whole social media thing. And, but I know that they can teach and they have something to bring to the industry and to the table. And they just, they just don't. So I definitely would like to see that.
That's dope. Okay. And I'm hoping to, maybe trigger a mind, like Pac said. I'm not maybe the one that does the change, but I'm gonna spark somebody's, mental.
Yeah.
So this is what this is all about. Um, at a moment, at this moment, what advice would you give your younger self within this industry?
Ooh, within this industry, my younger self, most of it stems from finances, man. If I knew back then what I know now about money, I probably would be in a very different place in my life. So if I could tell myself, my younger self, anything, and I would say, man, take some financial literacy courses. You're in an industry where you touch cash every day. You touch money every day, and when you like that, you spend it. You spend it like it's no tomorrow, because you're going to make it back the next day.
Mm-hmm.
There, but that what if factor comes in again. I think that what if factor is going to go through this entire live, because it's in every aspect of our industry. Is when COVID, I didn't know how I was going to survive that. The suite I had, I still had to pay rent. My landlord wasn't saying, hey, it's a pandemic. Well, I understand. She shouldn't care about that.
Right.
So I definitely would say, man, be mindful of the money that you make.
Mm-hmm.
Learn about LLCs, learn about taxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing too, because a lot of barbers, they don't file their taxes, and if they do, they don't do it the right way. So we'll talk about that later as well. Yeah.
Facts.
And it's not that hard either, because I told myself, man, tax season. I actually skipped one whole tax season because I was scared to file taxes, because I didn't know how. And then I finally did it, and it's not that hard, man. It's
Yeah.
not. That's what I would tell my younger. That's one thing that I would tell my younger self.
That's great advice, because myself, like I said, I'm a year and a half now with being a barber that's fully licensed. But I've been friends and family over a couple of years, like 4 years. But now transitioning myself into this industry now, I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing is tactical and doesn't mess me up in the long run. And I think that's very important to learn, how to structure your finance. Like you said, we're touching money every day. How do we make sure that everything is lined up when tax season comes? Because in this industry, a lot of people forget all that. They just want to focus on, like, oh, let me just keep the hustle going. How can I grind? How can I grind? How can I make more money? But you don't put in the effort to learn the business surrounding of everything around that. So I definitely appreciate you speaking on that.
Yeah.
Um, I have a lot of questions for you.
No,
Um, Nowadays, a lot of barbers are trying to leverage their social media platform to marketing themselves. What advice do you have for new barbers hoping to be the next big thing on social media?
that's a tough one, because I'm not big. I don't have the most followers, so it's still stuff that I'm learning as well. But if anyone wants to be the next big thing on social media, I would just say be organic.
Mm-hmm.
And no shots to any barbers, because I have no hate towards any barbers. It's just I see a lot of pages with a lot of followers, and their likes don't add up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like, and I know a lot of people do it for algorithm reasons, but if you want to be the next big thing, just be organic. Be organic for one, and stay consistent. Stay consistent with your posting. You gotta learn like all the algorithm stuff. When is the best time to post on all of that. So like I said, but this topic is a little hard for me because like I said, I don't have a bunch of followers, so I can't I can't help anyone else, but I still need help myself with this one.
No, I
So
mean, but you up there, you doing your thing, and you surrounding yourself with people that have created a platform for themselves. So, whatever information you
and
share.
another thing too, because I've suffered from my own mental issues, and I'm not afraid to say it, that I've had to go seek help. But I will say keep your personal life off of Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't post too much, and that is a big one, and that's a big one that I'm still dealing with, just for the simple fact that it's hard for me to ask for help. So I tend to go to social media, and that was my outlet.
Yeah,
But in the long run, it's hurt me more than it's helped me.
yeah.
So yeah,
No,
but
I agree with. I was in the same boat. I worked for a company that's called Lionsgate. They
mhm,
so I was with them for almost like 12 years. Might be hitting my 12 year mark. Was let go. Um, I had a fashion brand that I was creating called Garci. Did a lot of things with that. So when I was transitioning out of my job, I wanted to focus more on my whole like fashion line, creating it, marketing it, trying to do everything I could, pushing out so much money, so much income, and wasn't really everything I was pushing out wasn't honestly coming back the same way. So
mhm,
yeah, it put me in a dark hole. I'm like, okay, what's my next move? What am I doing? Am I doing this stuff correctly? I see everybody saying that they like what I'm doing, they love what I'm doing, but I'm like, it ain't trash. It ain't moving to the cash flow. I mean, I appreciate you guys, appreciate all the love and support, but at the end of the day, I got bills I got to pay. So I'm like,
exactly,
trying to figure
exactly,
out this whole everything. So it's folding on me real hard, and yeah, I went to a point where I started like I want to say like lashing out, but yeah, posting a lot of stuff on social media. And then like people that's really close to me was like we see you, we hear you, but not everything needs to be shared.
mhm,
And in my eyes, I'm thinking that I'm sharing something that somebody else might be going through to help them. Like everybody, you look at social media and everybody seem like they just doing everything great, and they don't never want to show what they actually going through. So that was like what I was trying to give out. Like not every day is going to be great. Not every day is going to be the sun is going to be shining. You're going to go through rainy days. But
mhm,
I understood what people was trying to say. Like not everybody needs to know your business. Talk to
mhm.
the people that's in your corner and allow those moments to be shared where you can share it with them. But you don't need to let everybody know what you're going through.
So
So
that's that I had to learn the hard way, and I'm still learning the hard way right now. Um, but it's definitely talk to the people in your corner.
yeah.
Everything that everything doesn't need to be shared. And like I said, JC and Ray hit me up all the time when I have my moments like that, and it's like, yo, like we here for you, like, and like you said, your friend said, we hear you, they hear me. That just up to me to understand that and to see that they're here, for me. So that's something I've been learning now.
Yeah. Well, we gonna get it, man. We got it. We got the right people that's in our corners, and they're gonna push us where we need to be. But yeah, man, you keep that focus, keep that mental in order, and yeah, and definitely have your moment of time where you can reflect with yourself. But if you ever need somebody to talk to, you know who you can reach out to, and who's gonna
Yeah,
really be and give you that advice that you really need.
yeah,
Um, how do you work now? Because that was kind of similar to what we was talking about before. In what ways right now? And I know you work with you guys, and you guys are doing stuff, and I know uh, you guys got a seminar coming up pretty soon, right?
yeah. We're on tour right now, so our next tour date, we'll be back on the road on the 26th. We got St. Louis, Detroit, and Chicago for our next leg of the tour. So
Okay.
uh,
So this question should be good for that. What are ways you and your party, your friends, your group, your business partners are expanding the business that you can spend less time behind the barber chair?
Ooh. So this is something that I tell when we do our classes, something that they always bring up. Everyone is 2022. You know, we're not sitting in the shop all day waiting. That's what we got booking. That's what we got booking sites for. And me personally, one thing that I did, you know the term "fake it till you make it."
Yeah.
So when I first got into the barber industry, I was using Square booking. Now
Okay.
I love Square for certain reasons, is they have the most customizability. I don't even know that's the word, which, but yeah, that in a booking site.
Okay.
So have an area where you can block off some of your times to look more busy.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
so, and one of the things we teach in the class is like people want what they can't have, right? Like, if you're a busy barber, they're like, oh man, he's busy, so I want to know why he's busy. Like, I want to get in his chair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's what in the beginning, man. That's what I did is I made myself less available and made more of a demand,
Mm-hmm.
caused me to have more time doing what I love, whatever that may be. Less time in the shop, you know. And I could 3 days a week before because I have toured the other 3 4 days in the week. So, and it's worked for me. So like I create that commit that I created that demand. But I can't say that everyone coming in the barber industry can do that or should do that because
Mm-hmm.
everyone's situation is different. But definitely, man, find out what you love. You got to be able to separate that time. You got to be able to tell clients, no, like this from this time to this time is my time. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, the clients don't run your business, you do. And that's something and early on I had to learn. So you gotta find that thin line between love and hate when the barber industry your time.
I know, like I said, I want to share this for definitely barbers that's in school, barbers that are just now about to go take the test. Since everything has changed now with the state board, I don't know if you know too much about it, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
share it. You know, now you don't have to take the practical; you just go and take the exam. It's less hours now. Let me ask you, what's your thought on that?
I don't think I did that. No. Um it already was a problem in the industry of people, you know, when some schools, I should say, letting their students fly by, you know, taking hours and all that stuff. So now you gotta now you take the practical out, and all you gotta do is go take an exam. Like, who do you know how to like? Who knows how to really cut hair at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, how
Yeah,
who
right.
determines practical somewhat determined that at least showed that you know how to do the basics.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly, even with practical, it's mainly dealing with chemicals, and I feel like at that point, like I mean, I think that they should reinstate it, but that's my personal opinion. Some people are happy because they can skate through, but you know, us OG barbers that has to take practical, we feel
Right.
some type of
So my question following that, um, how was it, or what steps for, like you said, students that's coming out of their schooling, getting ready to take the test? I know a lot of now with the whole formula and everything that's being set up now, especially when you have social media showing you once you just go and get your own spot. You can just do it on your own, use social media to build your fan base and all that. Do you feel like they're missing the best opportunity of being at a shop and learning, the steps from there? Or you feel
uh,
like it's
me personally, I feel like every barber coming into the game should put that those man hours in. I mean, it's okay to get out and go straight to a suite, you know, charge 40, 50, $60 is cool. But me, like, even with me, like I was fortunate enough to get out. I think when I got out of barber college, I was charging $25. Like I talked to some of my OG barbers, like bro, they were charging $8 out of barber college.
Yeah.
Now people out of barber college charging $70. Like the times are changing, so it's hard to speak to say that they should be in a shop and learn from other, OGs, but you know, whatever makes sense to them. Whatever makes sense to them. Me, I needed to learn, and I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how to actually be a barber, the essence of an actual barber, not going in my suite and say, "Oh, I'm a barber," but you don't know how to, to like show
Right.
yourself as a barber. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's hard. Like being a barber is an honor. Like people don't understand. Like barbers were like the first doctors, dentists. Like
Yeah.
and people still don't understand that. Like how important a barber was. So, and I'd still take it seriously, but being called a barber. So, it's okay. I would say, how should I say this? It is 2022, and social, like you said, social media has made it so that people can get out of barber college, go straight to a suite, and have clientele. I know I was a barber instructor for 9 months at a barber college out here, and some of my students had like steady clientele, like they had steady clientele, so they can literally leave and go get their own suite.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we're at a time in the world where anything is possible. So yeah, I can't say I don't agree with people getting a barber college and going straight to a suite. It's okay as long as they can make it.
Yeah.
I wasn't fortunate enough to do that, but I know, I know there are some students out there right now that are fortunate enough to get out of barber college and go. I would just tell them it's different going into a suite because you're your own boss. You're responsible for everything at that point. When you go to a barbershop, all you gotta do is pay booth rent, clean up a little bit, but for the most part, everything else is there for you.
Yeah.
For me, I'm sure I pay my rent. If you got utilities, you got to make sure you got to pay utilities. Uh, towel, you got to wash your own towels, and it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff to take into consideration before you do it. So that's one thing that I would tell anybody coming out of barber college, thinking about having their own suite, is that to make sure that they are ready to take control and be in control of everything in every aspect of their business.
Exactly. And I agree with you. I feel, tied both ways. Like you said, I wouldn't tell someone that, either way that whatever they decide, no, it might be wrong for them because it might be right for them. And when I was in school, I had a close friend of mine that every person that came in that we'll do the free cuts or a $5 cut or whatever, but he was charging a regular price because he already had his clientele and they was coming back and back and back and back and forth. So I was like, man, I know once he get out of here, he gonna be really killing it.
Oh,
So like you said, you just never know. I know from my experience when I got out, I got a chance to work with some dope guys that was on Melrose. They showed me a lot. They showed me how to be personable, how to connect with your clients, how they pretty much showed me how to cut because during the 2 years of the COVID, I lost a lot of time of being at school and still building my craft. So when I got a chance to work with them at the shop, they showed me a lot of techniques, showed me brotherhood, showed me, everything, what, I feel like what the barbershop should be. Now, I went back to my old neighborhood in Inglewood and I went, my barber that, used to cut my hair when I was a kid and I'm with him. So I'm now learning the whole business aspect because he owned this shop for 29 years and he's
mhm.
still doing the thing. And he was able to, work through the whole COVID, still have his clientele, still, build his business. So I'm learning more of like the business side, how to be the, owner, how to own, how to, keep creating, how to, better yourself in your craft every year.
Yeah,
So it's just whatever, you know, you're looking to gain from, like I said, out of this business and how you want to grow from it. And I know for me, eventually, you know, like I said, you know, in that question, you know, I definitely want to move from, you know, behind the chair and cutting heads all day to, you know, seeing what I can do next within this industry. So, you know, I'm, you know, planting that seed right now as well. Um,
Exactly.
my next question for you, bro, is as a barber, what are a few key ways that can improve our market effects and grow, you know, your services? And I maybe you could use some, you know, the things you guys talk about in you know, you guys, your business with your partners when you guys, you know, sit down with, you know, people that comes to your seminars and stuff like that. Maybe you could share some of the insight on that as well.
So but are you basically asking me about services about inside the barber industry or just like services in general?
Both. Well,
All
yeah.
right. I mean, we like I said, everything's based around 2022, like the time frame we're in. You know, we have more men wanting to take personal care of themselves. Like all before, it was just a haircut. You know, all that's all the men needed was a haircut. And now, you know, people want facials. They want to be pampered. You know, so um, I would always tell people coming out of barber college just not to run away from facials. Like in barber college, I ran away from facials. Like, you know, I don't want to do breast facial or nothing like that. So we're in a time where people pay for that stuff.
Yeah.
So I want all barbers up and coming and barbers already in the industry to take advantage of that, man. This barber industry is billions and billions and billions of dollars in this industry, and it's just up for grabs, and a lot of people don't take it. And as far as services go, I'm gonna put something in perspective for you. You probably know, or if you don't, you're about to. So you know the Milady book, right?
Say that last one again.
The Milady book, your textbook for barber college.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know that textbook is designed for that when you graduate for you to make $100,000 in your first year. Did you ever know that?
Mm-mm.
That it's literally designed for that. And you know why most barbers don't touch $100,000 in that first year?
Why is that?
Because they pick and choose what they want to do out that book. All right, pick and choose, and I didn't start dabbling into other things in that book until about 2 3 years in, man. I didn't start doing facials. Like say they have, you know, the man weaves, the whole hair restoration, SMP, like all that stuff is in that book. You know what I'm saying? So now people are starting to tap into that money, tap into those services because they see the money that it brings into the industry. So with all that being said, is barbers need to take a step back and look at their menu and see, can I do more? Can you
Yeah.
do more? Or are you tapped out? For
Mm.
me, I feel like I can do more. Like learn SMP, you know, I want to learn how to do hair restoration and stuff like that. So that's my goal for this year and next year is to learn those things. But for sure, barbers need to take a step back and look and see if they can do more because they always can.
No, that's dope that you said that because the other day I was like cleaning out my storage of like other stuff I was looking for, and then I you know, I found my book, and I was like, man, let me really, you know, I did what I did to pass. So I said, "Well, let me really dig into this book and really see what else it has to offer, because you really don't really go through the book. You just study what chapters you need to study to pass the test. But then
Yep.
I saw like in the back of the book they talk about finances, and then they talk about like what you said, like facials. They talk about this. They talk about nails. They talk about other stuff. Like I was like, it's funny now. Like you just said, like all the stuff that I feel like I want to start adding to my resume, and I'm going back to school because I want to get my cosmetology license, and
Mhm.
I'm like, everything that I'm searching to add to myself and add to my platform is right in that book, and it's really telling you how, you know, to prep yourself and move forward to, like you said, making that income you're looking for. But man, that's dope that you said that, because that's something I definitely want to highlight. Because what I do, I take certain portions of our conversations, and you know, I pop it out. I'm gonna pop it out on the page. But that's something that I was just thinking about the other day. You just brought it to my attention again, and that's dope. Like it's funny how you can be thinking about something, but somebody's already on that path. But
There's so many things, man, that simple things too that people pay for. I remember with our brand, Anti-Broke Barbers Club, we were on we were doing a collaboration with Blesswell, which is DJ Khaled's skincare brand. So we were out in Chicago, so we got on a Zoom with one of their reps, and she was teaching us about the products and stuff. And there was a beard oil that they have. She was telling us, oh, you know, you can take this beard oil, put it on the cuticles, you know, and use it and buff the nails and extra. You know, I did that on the extra service, bro. It's $50. It's just from buffing a guy in. And one thing too that a lot of barbers won't do, they won't massage, like take the massager, massage the shoulders. Like it's just people want to be too manly. I'm not about to massage another man's soldier. They need to take all of that go out, man, because there's money out here. It is here. So
no, it's funny because I was on your page the other day and I saw how you know you had the towel, you was massaging the facial, and I've been seeing a lot of other pages, not new pages, but previous like older barbers that are still relevant in this industry. But I look at their page and see what they bring in, what a lot of people might like or might not like, but I do see the one, it's the Babyliss thing where you put it on your hand and you can massage the head and the
yeah,
neck and I was like, man, I was thinking the same thing. I said, I know when I'm done, my arm, I want somebody to,
yeah.
massage me real quick. Yeah.
It's in there, man. It's an ego thing, honestly. It's like I hear barbers all the time. It's like I'm not about to massage another man. Like it's not even, you take that out. You need to take the whole thought of what you're doing and just look at it as a service,
Yeah.
you know. And then things get so much easier that way. You know, I never thought I would buff another man's nails, but hey, it was easy.
Right. See, this brought back to the next question I wanted to ask you. What advice, where is it? What advice would you give a new barber that's just starting out?
Be consistent, man. Be consistent. If you're gonna work in the shop, work in the shop. Don't be lazy. If the shop is open at a certain time, be there at that time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I would be very good with client retention. Don't be late to an appointment. Be very careful what you talk about around your clients and to your clients. That's a very big one because you have to understand your surroundings. That's one of the reasons I left the first shop I was at, is because the shop itself was good and my coworkers were good. It's just that at the end of the day, you can't control what your coworkers do.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't control what your coworkers do. You don't know who's in your chair. So you got to look at both angles. Um, be good with money. Get a business account. Any new barber, I'm telling them, get a business account.
Mm-hmm.
That the number one thing you should do: get a business account. Learn how to do taxes. Learn what an LLC is. So proprietorship. Um, and just my little personal tidbit on it: don't waste your money on all these clickers. They all do the same thing.
Hey, I gonna lie. When I first got into barber school, I was buying everything, man. Like, okay, what this one do? Oh, let me try this one. Because you're looking at everybody with different stuff, and I'm like, okay, maybe that will help my blend look a bit more crispy. Let me go get that one. But
Like they all these clippers do the same thing. Maybe, I mean, blades do different things. Like the clipper blades do different things, man. But man, I bought so many clippers. Like I would go to Bronner, bro. I remember my first. I hadn't even graduated barber college, and I went to Bronner Brothers one year. I spent $1,500 on just random stuff there, bro. Brought back. I don't even know where that stuff is today. It's save your money, man. For any new barber out there, save your money. They all do the same thing. Be consistent. Um, like really be a dog in this industry. You really got to get it. Put in the work. Um, What else? What else? Oh, don't worry about what other barbers are doing. Worry about what you're doing. Like like what I see a lot of people do on social media is try to imitate other barbers or do something for likes. Nobody cares about it. No, nobody does. They look at it, they either like it or they don't. But nobody's really going to care. So just do what you know how to do and perfect your craft.
Exactly. I'm Man, this was awesome. Like I said, I definitely appreciate you taking time out. I know you can be anywhere in your day, the world right now, doing something else, but to sit down with me truly means a lot, man. This was awesome. I just want to, let you share your platform, share all your information, share what you got coming up, and yeah, I got one more question after that for you. But yeah, the floor.
You said what?
Oh, I said the floor is yours. I said whatever you want to share, what you got coming up, what you guys got going on.
Oh, and like I said, we got the tour right now for the brand. This is just the beginning of the tour. So if there's anybody out, I mean, you should go to antibrokebarbersclub.com or antibrokebarbersclub on Instagram. Check out the tour dates. If there's any area that you see that you're in and a date and get a ticket, we have so much knowledge and inspiration that we share to barbers, stylists, or even anybody that's a working American can get something from this class. So for sure, definitely check that out. As far
When's
as
the Los Angeles date?
you said, what?
When's the Los Angeles date? Because
The
that's what
Los Angeles date just got moved till July, I believe. I have to double check on it, man. I don't know.
Okay.
It's on the back of my shirt right now.
Okay.
But
Yeah, share the information with me. I'll put it posted, and I'm definitely gonna be there. I want to get my ticket right away.
yeah, for sure. We already rescheduled it, so it's on the site. So I'll send it as soon as we get off. I'll send that to you, bro.
Okay. And
Yeah.
my last question for you, I always try to end this off on a positive note. I call it the law of attraction. So, what do you think about law of attraction or the power of positive mindset? Do you incorporate that into your business approach?
Yes. Law of attraction. I try to center myself around people that are like minded. If I don't do that, you're going to attract things that you don't want. Um, I even like my business. It's a certain client. It's a certain caliber of clientele that I service. I don't just service anyone, and that's a misconception. People think they think that, oh, you're a barber, so you have to service everyone that sits in your chair, and you don't. It's the reason I use a booking site. It's the reason I put questions up. It's the reason I sift through and I filter who I want. So the law of attraction is very important to me in my business because I am a high caliber individual. I'm a high caliber barber, so I want high caliber clientele. Me personally, want clientele that value their time more than their money. So if that's the type of clientele that I tend to attract and that I want to attract.
Exactly.
So the law of attraction is very important. You get what you give.
All right. Well, OCD, the barber. I appreciate you, man. This was awesome. This is not a one-time thing, man. We gonna, always, have this conversation going back and forth. I'm looking forward to, sitting down with you again and, picking your brain on other things that we could share with, like I said, with upcoming barbers that's in the industry, barbers that been in the industry for a while, and they just looking for some new ways to, capitalize and grow their mindset and grow their business. And I see you doing it. I see you doing it well. And like I said, this was my way of giving you your flowers and telling you thank you
Thank
for
you, man.
helping me out and helping me see the vision that I have for myself to keep pushing forward.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, man. We gonna link
Uh,
up soon. I'm gonna see you at the show, and
uh,
then I chop it up with you, and we gonna take some photos. I'm like, hey, this is this guy right here.
sure, I'll see you there. I'll send you these dates as soon as possible, man. I'll see you soon. And next time I'm in LA, even before the class, man, when I'm in LA, I'll definitely hit you up so we can chop it up. And
Yeah, definitely, man. I would love for you to come by the shop. You know, we can chill, chop it up, and yeah, and then yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
all right, man. I'll
All right,
tap in with you.
have a good one, man.
All right, you too.